Ever scroll through social media and wonder, is this person legit or just really good at faking it? The kind of person who's either going to change the world or take everyone's money.
Yeah, totally. It's a question we're seeing more and more, right? With like social media and influencers, it's hard to tell a true visionary from just a good con artist.
And that's exactly what we're looking at today.
Uh-huh.
Jacob Wohl. Might be a name that rings a bell, maybe infamous, but either way,
Yeah.
this deep dive is going to be wild. To really get into it, we've got a lot of different sources.
Yeah, we did.
Articles from The Nation, The Cut, Vox, Pace Magazine.
We looked at Empty Wheel, too.
Oh, and legal documents.
Base temps.
News from The Independent.
Bizarre daily news.
Even a little bit from his IMDb page and a podcast from iHeartRadio. Trying to figure this guy out.
It's a lot.
Where do we even begin?
Well, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Jacob Wohl kind of exploded onto the scene as a teenager, calling himself the Wohl of Wall Street.
Okay.
Starts a hedge fund, which is already pretty unusual for a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Goes on financial news shows, like the whole thing.
So he's trying to make himself look like some kind of financial prodigy.
Exactly, like some Warren Buffett in the making.
Okay, I see the appeal. Teenage Wall Street whiz kid.
Right.
Pretty good story, but what's the catch?
The catch is it was all fake.
Real.
At 17, he claimed to have over 10 years of trading experience.
Wait, so he started investing when he was like 7?
Like a toddler. That's red flag number one.
Oh, wow.
And it gets crazier. The National Futures Association, the NFA, they're basically the watchdogs of the futures industry.
Okay.
They investigated Wohl for fraud, and they slapped him with a lifetime ban from the industry at 17.
A lifetime ban. He must have done something really bad.
Oh, he did. The NFA went to his office to check out his business.
Okay.
Turns out his office was his parents' house.
No way.
And to make it worse, Wohl's dad threatened to call the cops on the investigators.
Oh, man. So not just a kid messing around. This is some real deception.
Definitely a pattern forming.
But a ban didn't stop him, did it?
Nope. This is where he pivots from finance to an area where facts are a bit more
flexible.
Yeah, he jumps right into right-wing media, starting with The Gateway Pundit.
Ah, The Gateway Pundit.
A site known for, well, let's just say promoting some pretty out-there claims.
That's putting it lightly. That's the site that claimed Obama was, like, literally insane.
Yep. That's the one. And their source was an anti-Semitic website, so Wohl is already wading into misinformation and inflammatory stuff. But he goes further.
Oh.
Starts his own site. The Washington Reporter sounds official.
Yeah, definitely makes him seem legit. What could go wrong?
Well, instead of building the site, Wohl just copied and pasted the entire code of ethics from ProPublica.
You mean like plagiarized?
Straight up. From ProPublica, a super respected investigative journalism place.
Wow, he plagiarized a code of ethics.
It's unbelievable, and it just gets wilder. This is where Jack Berkman enters the picture.
Jack Berkman, the lobbyist.
That's him, known for pushing some wild conspiracy theories.
Oh boy, I can only imagine what these two got up to.
This is where it gets dark. Remember how we were talking about the line between visionary and con artist? Well, with Wohl and Berkman, that line just vanishes.
Okay, I'm ready. What did they do?
They launched these smear campaigns.
Okay.
Targeting some pretty big names.
Like who?
Well, Robert Mueller, for one.
The special counsel investigating Trump.
That's the one.
Bold move. What were they even thinking?
They made this fake intelligence agency, called it Surefire Intelligence.
Surefire Intelligence?
I know, right? And they used it to, spread all these crazy accusations about Mueller.
Like what?
Saying he had a history of sexual misconduct.
Seriously?
Yeah, they even tried to pay women to make false claims.
Hold on. They tried to pay people to lie about Mueller.
That's right. But their whole plan was such a mess, it just fell apart.
Okay, you got to give me the details. What happened?
Well, they were super obvious about trying to recruit women. They sent these weird, almost scripted messages promising tons of money for bad info about Mueller.
It's like a bad spy movie. Did they really think that would work?
I don't know what they were thinking.
So how did it all come out?
Here's the funny part. It was the Krasenstein brothers who blew it open.
No way, those Twitter guys.
Yep, one of the women Wohl and Berkman contacted reached out to them.
With the messages.
Exactly. They smelled something fishy, dug into Wohl's past, realized it was all fake.
Wow, so they exposed it on Twitter.
Oh yeah, and reported Wohl to the FBI.
So the guys known for online drama helped take down a real conspiracy. That's wild.
It is, but Mueller was just the beginning.
They had more targets.
Oh yeah, next up, Pete Buttigieg,
who was running for president at the time.
Right. They tried to spread this whole story about him sexually assaulting some college student.
Come on, did they really think anyone would believe that after the Mueller thing?
It's crazy, right? But they went all in on this one.
Really?
They made a fake Medium profile for this student.
A fake profile?
And posted this whole detailed story about the assault.
So they're getting bolder, but also more reckless.
Totally. They announced this big press conference, said they'd have all this evidence.
Like a big reveal.
Exactly. But their story was full of holes.
Like, right.
They said there'd be tons of protesters trying to shut them down.
To make it seem even more dramatic.
Exactly. But it turns out...
Wait, they made up the protesters too?
Yep. And get this. People who signed up for the protest got emails from Wohl's personal account.
You can't make this stuff up.
They were so sloppy. Buttigieg called them out as liars. The whole thing flopped.
Another swing and a miss. But they weren't done, were they? Who else did they go after?
Well, they tried Elizabeth Warren next.
Yeah.
Spreading rumors about her having an affair with some young Marine.
Did that one go anywhere?
Not really. She even joked about it on Twitter.
Okay, so 2 failed smear campaigns, a fake agency, plagiarized ethics. It's a lot. They seem desperate.
They were definitely casting a wide net, but there's one case where their actions had real consequences.
Oh, which one?
They went after Kamala Harris.
Who was also running for president.
Right. They spread this rumor that she wasn't eligible because her parents weren't citizens.
Wow.
Total lie, but it gained some traction online.
Seriously?
Yeah, people started questioning her legitimacy.
So this is where the misinformation actually had a real impact.
Exactly. It shows how even the craziest lies can find an audience and affect opinions, especially online.
It's scary to think about, but you mentioned Wohl doing something on social media too, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff, on top of everything else.
Huh.
He was building a whole network of fake accounts.
To spread more disinformation.
And manipulate online conversations.
So not just spreading lies, but amplifying them with fake people.
Like an army of sock puppets.
Wow, how many were there?
Dozens, maybe hundreds, trying to make his ideas seem popular.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But even after being caught, facing legal trouble, getting banned from social media, he kept going.
Yeah, Wohl always finds a way to stay in the spotlight.
Seriously. What else could he even do at that point?
Let's just say he had one more trick. So crazy, it's almost unbelievable.
All right, you've got me hooked. What was this final crazy trick?
So imagine this. Wohl's banned from social media. His reputation's trashed. He's facing lawsuits.
Right.
Most people would lay low, right?
Yeah, probably.
Not Jacob Wohl. He decides to stage
What?
fake death threats.
Against himself.
Yep.
Wow, even after everything. That's surprising.
Right. It's almost too ridiculous to be true, but that's Jacob Wohl.
He loves attention, even if it's bad attention.
Exactly. It's a common tactic.
I guess it makes sense why fake death threats, though.
By being the victim, he gets sympathy, discredits critics.
Makes himself look like a martyr.
Right. He even filmed himself filing a police report about these fake threats.
Trying to make it all seem real.
Total.
Did anyone believe him?
Maybe his hardcore fans, but most people saw through it.
Yeah, it sounds pretty staged.
It was. Just another example of Wohl's, well, dishonesty.
He's almost a caricature of himself at this point.
You could say that, but here's the thing that gets me.
What's that?
After all the lies, the manipulation, the convictions, Wohl still had followers. People believed in him, saw him as a hero.
That's what's so disturbing, right? How can someone so clearly deceptive still have supporters? What does that say about us?
It's a bigger question than just Jacob Wohl. We live in a world of information overload.
Right. Algorithms. Anyone can say anything online.
Exactly. It's a breeding ground for misinformation, really hard to navigate.
So how do we protect ourselves? How do we avoid falling for another Jacob Wohl?
Critical thinking. We have to be careful about what we consume online.
Not just believe every headline.
Right. Be skeptical, especially of sensational stuff. Ask yourself, who's saying this? What are their motives?
Is there any evidence?
And be willing to change your mind when you see new information, even if you don't like it.
It's like if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Exactly. If someone's always trying to get you angry, dividing people into us and them, that's a bad sign.
So after this deep dive into Jacob Wohl, what's the big takeaway?
Remember, you have the power to be informed. Don't just accept what you see online.
Do your own research, look at different sides.
The truth is out there, but it takes work to find it.
Will said, and on that note, here's something to think about. Next time you see a crazy headline, pause, think, and ask yourself, Could this be another Jacob Wohl? Because there are plenty of charismatic people out there ready to take advantage of us.
It's true.
We have to be careful, be informed, and not let ourselves be fooled.